Hello all, welcome back to Audiology with Khwaja. This video is about the documents that is required for RCI registration. This video is one or the first among a series of videos which we will be posting on how to register with RCI. Let's get into the video. This is a bit old guidelines, but most of the guidelines still applies. To begin with, we will divide our task of preparing documents into three. There are a set of documents that needs to be scanned, and there are a set of documents that needs to be photocopied or xeroxed, and there is one document that needs to be sent in its original form. We will start with the scan copy. The first document that needs to be scanned is your certificate of authentication, which is your authentication certificate. This authentication certificate is provided from your college. At the time of graduating, maybe it will be given when you receive your provisional certificate or degree, or your degree certificate after graduation. This authentication certificate is a proof that you are a student of that college, and the authentication certificate model is readily available with most of the college offices, so they should have no problem in providing you one. If they have doubt if there is any change in the format of authentication certificate, you first have to sign up with RCI, about which we have a video in our channel. Once you sign up, and in the dashboard you have an option of download authentication certificate, so you will have a model, so you can use that to prepare your certificate of authentication. So the certificate of authentication or the authentication certificate should have your recent passport size photograph, and there is specific rules how the photo has to be, which will be which I'll be explaining in a minute or two. And with that photo, and then you will have a signature of the HOD, and then a seal of your college. So these are the things that needs to be present, and you have to make sure that it is there before you leave your college. The next document that needs to be available or scanned is your rehabilitation qualification certificate, which is your degree certificate. The third document is the final year mark sheet of your degree program. The fourth one is your 10th or 12th mark sheet, which will be used as a proof for age. If there is a discrepancy with the date of birth, with your real date of birth and the date of birth mentioned in your 10th or 12th certificate, I recommend that you mention in the RCI website and in the application the date of birth that is mentioned in your 10th or 12th certificate, so there is no discrepancy in RCI and the 10th certificate or 12th certificate. Okay, so what are the rules that needs to be followed when you scan this? It has to be below 200 KB. So try to compress the file as much as possible so it is not bigger than 200 KB. You will lose quality, but make sure the quality is not really very poor so that the text are not visible or clear. In that case, again, your application will be rejected or sent back. And the format of the documents may be in JPG, TIF or GIF, but we have also tried with PDF. We found no problem. So I recommend you either go with PDF or with JPG. So the next task of the list of documents to photocopy is rehabilitation qualification certificate, which is a degree certificate, then your mark sheet of your degree, final year mark sheet, and then the 10th or 12th certificate. So in the first column, you see what are the documents that needs to be scanned. So the last three, you will take a photocopy of it, and then the first one you will scan it, and then you will have its original here. The NEFT information is an old one which is not applicable anymore, because RCI has its own payment page where you can pay from that page, and you don't require any proof to be submitted along with your application. Okay, so then let's go into the rules which needs to be followed when you take a passport size photograph. The most important rule that I want you to stress on is white background. Usually a passport size photo in most of the studios, they will go with white background unless otherwise specified that I need a blue background or anything else. Make sure that it is white background. You may think that you take in other color and then you can use Photoshop to change it, but there are chances that you will lose quality or it may be pixelated and it is not clear. In that case, it will be rejected. So the size of the photo should be a regular passport size photo, and your face should be clearly visible with your eyes open and facing the camera. Then your forehead to chin area should be visible. In case if you're having a head covering for religious reasons or any other reasons, make sure that your full face is visible from forehead to chin. Also make sure that there are no distracting shadows on your face or on the background. So this happens mostly if you are going to take a photograph from your mobile phone. If you go to studio, those are professional, they will give you a perfect photo. I recommend going to a studio because it is not going to cost you much. Maximum it is going to cost you 150, not more than that. So you are going to risk 1000 rupees for 150. It is not good. So please go to a studio and get a good passport size picture. And that's it. These are the documents that need to be prepared. And finally, you have to scan this passport size photograph. Again, this has to be below 200 KB. Okay. So now you have 5 scanned documents: passport, authentication certificate, rehabilitation degree certificate, your final year marks card of the degree program, 10th or 12th certificate. So 5 scanned copies. Out of these 5, the last 3 will be photocopied, and this photocopied document has to be self-attested, which means you have to sign at the bottom of the document in an empty space, and then the authentication certificate will be sent as original. If you need, you can take a photocopy and you can keep with yourself, but when you send to RCI, you have to send whatever you receive from your college. See you in next video.